Calm down. Breathe for a moment. There is something you have been chasing with all your strength, something you have prayed for, worked for, cried over, imagined, and maybe even begged God to bring into your life. But what if the very tension of chasing it is the thing that has been pushing it farther away? What if the blessing is not late? What if the door is not closed? What if the answer has been moving toward you all along, but your anxious energy has kept your heart too loud to recognize it? Today, you are going to understand why calming down is not weakness. It is spiritual strength. You are going to understand why letting it come to you does not mean doing nothing. It means becoming the kind of person who can receive what God has already been preparing. And before we go deeper, I want you to write these words in the comments. I am ready to receive. Do not write them as a random sentence. Write them as a declaration over your mind, over your spirit, over your future. Because the moment you stop speaking from fear and begin speaking from faith, something inside you begins to shift. There is a sacred difference between chasing and aligning. Chasing says, I do not have it, I'm afraid I will never have it. I must force life to give it to me. Alignment says, I trust God. I trust the process. I trust that what is meant for me will recognize me when I become ready for it. Napoleon Hill taught that everything begins as a state of mind. He understood that the outer world does not simply respond to what you want with your lips. It responds to what you believe, what you repeat, what you feel, and what you accept as true in the deepest part of your being. And this is where most people lose the thing they are trying to attract. They desire prosperity, but they feel panic. They desire love, but they carry fear. They desire success, but they secretly expect failure. They desire peace, but they keep feeding their mind with pressure, comparison, and worry. Then they wonder why the thing does not come. But listen carefully. The seed does not grow faster because you dig it up every morning to check if it has roots. The promise does not manifest faster because you keep asking God if He remembers. The door does not open faster because you stand in front of it, desperate, afraid, and exhausted. Sometimes the deepest spiritual instruction is the simplest one. Be still, and know. Not run and panic, not force and collapse. Be still and know. There is a kind of stillness that is not empty. It is full of trust. It is full of quiet authority. It is the stillness of someone who knows that God is not confused, the universe is not against them, and the delay is not denial. Calm down. Let it come to you. This does not mean stop working. It means stop working from fear. This does not mean stop dreaming. It means stop dreaming with desperation. This does not mean stop moving. It means stop moving as if everything depends only on your human strength. There is a higher rhythm. There is a divine order. There is a field of unseen connections working behind the surface of your life. And when your inner world becomes calm enough, you start to notice signs you used to miss. You hear instructions you used to ignore. You feel peace where before there was confusion. You take action, but now your action is guided. You speak, but now your words carry power. You wait, but now your waiting is not fear. It is preparation. Napoleon Hill said that faith is a state of mind that can be created by repeated instruction to the subconscious mind. That means faith is not only something you claim on Sunday. Faith is something you train every day. Faith is the voice you choose when fear starts speaking. Faith is the image you hold when nothing outside has changed yet. Faith is the emotional atmosphere you live in before the evidence appears. And the Bible reveals the same truth in a deeper way. It says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Not as he thinks once, not as he wishes casually, as he thinks in his heart." That means the thoughts that become emotionally rooted inside you begin to shape the life that rises around you. So the question is not only what do you want? The real question is, what are you being? Are you being peace or are you being panic? Are you being trust or are you being control? Are you being abundance or are you being fear of loss? Are you being the person who is ready to receive or the person who is still proving to life that they do not believe it can happen? This is why calming down is a spiritual practice. When you calm down, your nervous system stops sending the message that you are in danger. Your mind becomes more open. Your heart becomes more receptive. Your imagination becomes clearer. Your decisions become wiser. Your energy changes. And when your energy changes, the world you interact with changes. You do not see the same opportunities the same way. You do not speak to people with the same insecurity. You do not walk into rooms carrying the vibration of need. You walk in with presence. And presence attracts. There is something powerful about a person who is no longer begging life to choose them. There is something magnetic about a person who has stopped chasing validation. There is something deeply spiritual about someone who can say, God knows where I am. What is for me will not need me to abandon myself to receive it. That sentence alone can free you from years of anxiety. What is for me will not require me to abandon myself. Many people lose blessings because they chase them from a wounded place. They chase relationships that require them to shrink. They chase money in ways that cost them peace. They chase approval from people who were never assigned to recognize their value. They chase success with a heart so tense that even when success comes, they cannot enjoy it. But when you calm down, something holy returns to you. Discernment. You begin to know what is yours and what is only noise. You stop trying to force doors God is not blessing. You stop confusing delay with rejection. You stop making fear your prophet. And this is where the promise of the title becomes real. Let it come to you. Let the opportunity come to the version of you that is prepared. Let the relationship come to the version of you that is healed. Let the prosperity come to the version of you that is no longer afraid of receiving. Let the idea come to the quiet mind. Let the answer come to the surrendered heart. Let the door open without you breaking yourself against it. In the book of Exodus, there is a moment when the people are trapped between the sea and the army behind them. Everything around them says panic. Everything around them says run. Everything around them says it is over. But the instruction was not to scream louder. The instruction was, the Lord shall fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. Hold your peace. That is not passive. That is power under control. That is faith refusing to collapse. That is a mind so anchored in God that even the pressure of the moment cannot command its emotions. And this is the state you must learn to live in. Because the thing you are asking for cannot safely remain in the hands of a version of you that is still ruled by fear. Prosperity requires peace. Love requires security. Purpose requires patience. Elevation requires emotional maturity. A greater life requires a greater state of being. Napoleon Hill understood that desire must be mixed with faith. Desire alone can become desperation. Desire alone can become obsession. Desire alone can become suffering. But desire mixed with faith becomes a calm flame. It burns without destroying you. It moves you without making you frantic. It gives direction without stealing your peace. Think about the difference between two people wanting the same thing. One person wakes up and says, "Why is it not here yet? What if it never comes? What if I am behind? What if everyone else gets blessed before me? What if I fail?" That person spends the whole day planting invisible seeds of fear. Another person wakes up and says, "I trust the timing of God. I am becoming ready. I am guided today. I will take the action that is mine to take, and I will release what is not mine to control." Same desire, different state. And because the state is different, the choices become different. The voice becomes different. The posture becomes different. The energy becomes different. The results begin to change. So right now, take this personally. Where have you been forcing? Where have you been trying to control every detail? Where have you been asking God for a blessing while emotionally living as if He forgot your name? Where have you been saying you believe, but your body is tense, your thoughts are racing, and your heart is preparing for disappointment? This is not to condemn you. This is to awaken you. Because once you see the pattern, you can change it. And the change begins with a decision. I will no longer chase from fear. I will align with faith. I will become calm enough to receive. Now breathe again. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw relax. Let your spirit hear this. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are in a process. And sometimes the process feels slow because your inner world is being trained to carry what you prayed for. A blessing received by an anxious mind can become another source of fear. Money received by a scarcity mind becomes fear of losing it. Love received by an insecure heart becomes fear of abandonment. Opportunity received by a doubtful spirit becomes pressure instead of purpose. So God does not only prepare the blessing, He prepares the person. And preparation often feels like waiting. But waiting with faith is not wasted time. It is inner construction. It is the rebuilding of your identity. It is the quiet place where your subconscious mind learns a new truth. I am safe, I am guided, I am worthy, I am ready. What belongs to me can reach me. If this is speaking to you, write in the comments, I allow it to come. Those words may seem simple, but spoken with faith, they begin to interrupt the old pattern of pressure. You are teaching your mind that receiving is safe. You are telling your spirit that you do not need to fight the entire universe to be blessed. I allow it to come. Say it slowly. I allow peace to come. I allow wisdom to come. I allow provision to come. I allow the right people to come. I allow divine timing to work. I allow the answer to find me. This is not laziness. This is surrender with awareness. There is a difference between surrendering because you have given up and surrendering because you have grown up spiritually. Giving up says, nothing will happen. Surrender says, I do not need to control how it happens. Giving up closes the heart. Surrender opens the heart. Giving up expects nothing. Surrender trusts what is unseen. And the unseen is where everything begins. Before a house exists, it is an image. Before a business exists, it is an idea. Before a breakthrough exists, it is a belief. Before a new life exists, it is an inner decision. The invisible always comes first. This is why Napoleon Hill placed so much importance on imagination, autosuggestion, desire, and faith. He was showing that the mind is not a passive observer of life. It is a creative instrument. It receives, accepts, repeats, and then begins to move the body, emotions, and decisions toward what it has accepted as true. But the subconscious mind does not respond deeply to cold words. It responds to emotionalized belief. That is why someone can repeat, I am rich, 1,000 times and still feel poor inside. The words are not enough if the inner state contradicts them. The goal is not to say words loudly. The goal is to become internally convinced, and calmness helps that happen. A frantic mind cannot imagine clearly. A fearful heart cannot receive deeply. A rushed spirit cannot hear God clearly. Calmness opens the inner door. This is why so many revelations come in the quiet, in the shower, on a walk, before sleep, during prayer, in silence. Not because God was absent before, but because the mind was finally still enough to listen. Some of you have been asking for a sign while living too loud to hear the whisper. Some of you have been praying for direction while filling every empty moment with noise. Some of you have been asking for a breakthrough while your whole inner system is saying, danger, danger, danger. Tonight, that begins to change. You do not need to wrestle your future into existence. You need to align with it. You need to create the state in which the right ideas can land. You need to become peaceful enough to recognize the door when it opens. You need to become faithful enough to stop digging up the seed. Jesus said, seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Notice the order. First, the kingdom. First, the inner alignment with God. First, the state of spiritual order. Then, the things are added. Many people reverse the order. They say, when the things come, then I will have peace. When the money comes, then I will trust. When the relationship comes, then I will feel whole. When the opportunity comes, then I will believe God is good. But the spiritual law is higher than that. Become peace first, trust first, align first, seek the kingdom first. Then, the things begin to find their proper place, because when your inner world is ordered, your outer life begins to reorganize. This does not mean everything becomes perfect overnight. It means you stop creating from chaos. You stop choosing from fear. You stop reacting as if every delay is a threat. And this alone changes your path. A calm person makes better decisions. A calm person sees more options. A calm person speaks with more wisdom. A calm person does not accept crumbs out of panic. A calm person does not run after what keeps running away. A calm person knows that divine provision does not need manipulation. There is power in saying, I will not force what is not aligned. There is power in saying, I will not beg for what God can send with peace. There is power in saying, I can desire deeply without becoming desperate. That is a new level of faith. And now I want you to look at your life with honesty. How many decisions did you make because you were afraid nothing better would come? How many times did you accept less because your mind whispered, "This is all you can get"? How many times did you speak too soon, move too fast, agree too quickly, or lower your standards because anxiety was louder than wisdom? That was not your true self. That was fear trying to survive. But now you are learning a different way. Calm down. Let it come to you. Let what is aligned come in peace. Let what is false fall away. Let what requires begging reveal itself as not your portion. Let what God has for you meet you in the place of obedience, preparation, and trust. There is a sentence you must carry from this moment forward. I do not chase, I attract by becoming. Not in a prideful way, not in an arrogant way, in a spiritual way. Because who you become determines what can remain in your life. If you become disciplined, disciplined opportunities can stay. If you become peaceful, peaceful relationships can stay. If you become abundant in mind, abundant choices can stay. If you become faithful, divine instructions can stay. A blessing is not only something you receive, it is something you must have the inner capacity to sustain. Napoleon Hill often taught that definite purpose gives power to the mind. A person without purpose is easily pulled by fear, opinions, comparison, and distraction. But a person with purpose moves differently. They do not chase every shiny thing. They do not panic at every delay. They do not make permanent decisions from temporary emotions. Purpose calms the spirit. When you know where you are going, you do not need to run after everything passing by. When you know who you are becoming, you do not need to prove yourself to everyone. When you know God is guiding your steps, you do not need to force doors that disturb your peace. This is why your desire must be purified. Ask yourself, do I want this because it is truly aligned with my calling? Or do I want it because I am trying to prove I am enough? Do I want this because it will serve my life, or because I want someone to regret underestimating me? Do I want this because God placed it in my heart, or because comparison placed pressure on my mind? A desire born from envy will never give peace. A desire born from fear will never feel safe. A desire born from purpose carries a different vibration. It is calm, even when it is strong. It is patient, even when it is passionate. It is persistent, but not desperate. That is the kind of desire heaven can shape. That is the kind of desire the subconscious mind can accept without resistance. That is the kind of desire that does not destroy you while you wait. There is another truth you must understand. Letting it come to you does not mean you sit still forever. It means you stop moving from wounded energy. When the inner instruction comes, you act. When the door opens, you walk through. When the idea lands, you write it down. When the connection appears, you honor it. When God nudges you, you obey. But the action comes from peace, not panic. This is aligned action. Aligned action feels different. It may still require courage. It may still require discipline. It may still require effort. But it does not feel like self-betrayal. It does not feel like begging. It does not feel like trying to prove your worth to the world. It feels like obedience. It feels like partnership with God. It feels like your inner world and your outer movement are finally walking in the same direction. This is where many people misunderstand manifestation. They think calming down means doing nothing. But true calm creates clearer action. True surrender creates wiser movement. True faith does not make you passive. It makes you powerful without anxiety. Think about a farmer. The farmer plants the seed. That is action. The farmer waters the ground. That is discipline. The farmer protects the field. That is responsibility. But the farmer does not stand over the soil screaming at it to grow. The farmer understands process. The farmer understands seasons. The farmer works, then trusts. That is your model. Plant with intention. Water with discipline. Protect your mind. Then trust the growth you cannot see. Galatians says that whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. Your thoughts are seeds. Your emotions are seeds. Your words are seeds. Your habits are seeds. Your expectations are seeds. Every day you are sowing something into the field of your life, so when you calm down, you are not stopping creation. You are choosing better seeds. You stop sowing panic. You stop sowing lack. You stop sowing self-rejection. You stop sowing the fear that nothing good can stay. And you begin sowing faith. You begin sowing gratitude. You begin sowing disciplined imagination. You begin sowing the quiet certainty that what is meant for you is not lost. Right now, say within yourself, I am not losing what God is preparing. I am not missing what is assigned to me. I am becoming ready for what is already moving toward me. Let that settle deep. Some blessings do not arrive with noise. Some breakthroughs do not come through drama. Some answers come quietly. A conversation, an idea, a sudden peace, a door you never considered, a person remembering your name, a chance meeting, a new level of confidence, a thought that keeps returning, a small step that opens a large path. If you are always frantic, you may miss the subtle ways God sends provision. That is why calmness is not just a feeling. It is perception. A calm mind can notice. A calm heart can discern. A calm spirit can obey. The world teaches you to chase. God teaches you to abide. The world teaches you to panic. Faith teaches you to rest. The world teaches you that pressure proves seriousness. Wisdom teaches you that peace proves alignment. And this is the shift that changes everything. You are not trying to convince life to bless you. You are becoming the person who can recognize, receive, and steward the blessing. If this message is opening something inside you, take a moment and like this video. Not as a casual gesture, but as a way of saying, I agree with this truth. And share it with one person who has been exhausted from chasing. Sometimes one message at the right moment can help someone breathe again. Now let us go deeper into the inner mechanism. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It listens when you speak faith. It listens when you complain. It listens when you say nothing ever works for me. It listens when you say I am always behind. It listens when you say good things never last. And because the subconscious mind works through repetition and emotion, the statements you repeat under stress become instructions. This is why worry is so dangerous. Worry is imagination used against yourself. Worry is faith in the wrong outcome. Worry is meditation on what you do not want. When you worry repeatedly, you are teaching your mind to expect danger. Then your mind begins scanning for danger. Then your body tightens. Then your decisions become defensive. Then you interpret neutral events as signs of failure. Then you act from fear, and your fear begins shaping your reality. But the same system can work for you. Peace is also trainable. Faith is also repeatable. Expectation can be renewed. You can teach your mind a new pattern. That is why every night before you sleep, you must stop handing your subconscious mind images of defeat. Do not end the day rehearsing rejection. Do not fall asleep imagining failure. Do not let the last emotional signal of the night be fear. Before sleep, become still. Place one hand over your heart. Breathe slowly and say, God is working even when I am resting. What is mine is being prepared. I release the need to force. I receive peace. I trust the unseen. As you repeat this, feel it. Do not rush. Let the words become atmosphere. Let your body feel safe. Let your mind understand that it does not need to solve everything tonight. There is a kind of productivity that happens only after surrender. When you sleep in fear, you wake up heavy. When you sleep in faith, you wake up available for ideas, available for courage, available for favor, available for a new response, available for the next right step. This is one of the hidden secrets of receiving. You must stop gripping so tightly. A clenched hand cannot receive. A clenched heart cannot be filled. A clenched mind cannot be guided. Open, release, trust, let it come. And here is where the teaching becomes even more personal. Sometimes what you are asking for has not come because you keep trying to receive it as the old version of yourself. You ask for abundance, but still identify as someone who always lacks. You ask for love, but still identify as someone who is always abandoned. You ask for success, but still identify as someone who never finishes. You ask for peace, but still identify as someone who must control everything to survive. Your identity is the container. If the container does not change, the blessing will feel foreign. This is why Napoleon Hill emphasized the power of repeated autosuggestion. By repeating a new truth with emotion, you impress a new identity upon the subconscious mind. You are not merely trying to get something, you are becoming someone. Say, I'm the kind of person who receives with peace. I'm the kind of person who trusts divine timing. I'm the kind of person who takes aligned action. I'm the kind of person who does not chase what is not sent. I'm the kind of person who recognizes my blessing without fear. This is identity work, and identity always precedes consistency. You cannot consistently live beyond who you believe you are, so let the old identity fall away. The desperate one, the rejected one, the always late one, the never chosen one, the forgotten one, the one who has to fight for every crumb. That is not your final identity. That may have been your wound. That may have been your past. That may have been the voice of old experiences. But it is not the voice of God. The voice of God calls you beloved, guided, chosen, strengthened, provided for, protected, called. And when that voice becomes louder than the voice of fear, your life begins to change from the inside out. Now write in the comments, peace is my new power. Let that be your witness. Peace is my new power. Not pressure, not panic, not proving. Peace. Because when you walk in peace, you stop being available for confusion. When you walk in peace, you stop negotiating with chaos. When you walk in peace, you stop mistaking intensity for destiny. Some things feel urgent because they are unhealthy, not because they are assigned. Some doors demand panic because they are not doors of peace. Some people require you to chase because they are feeding your wound, not honoring your worth. Let them go. What is divine does not need to destroy your nervous system to enter your life. What is aligned may challenge you, but it will not require you to become someone you are not. Let what is not for you lose access to your desperation. That is a powerful sentence. Let what is not for you lose access to your desperation. Because desperation keeps you tied to things peace would have released long ago. When you calm down, you can finally see the difference between a blessing and a temptation, between a divine opportunity and a distraction with good packaging, between a person who is sent and a person who is simply familiar to your pain, between ambition that serves purpose and ambition that feeds insecurity. Calmness gives clarity, and clarity is a form of protection. Psalm 91 says that those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Dwell, not visit, not run there only when afraid. Dwell, live there. Make trust your home. Make faith your atmosphere. Make prayer your inner room. The secret place is not only a location, it is a state of consciousness anchored in God. It is the place inside where fear does not get the final word. When you dwell there, you stop reacting like someone uncovered. You stop moving like someone abandoned. You stop speaking like someone without help. You begin to carry shelter inside you. And when you carry shelter inside you, the outside storm loses some of its power. The storm may still come, but it cannot own you. The delay may still happen, but it cannot define you. The uncertainty may still exist, but it cannot command you, because you have a refuge deeper than circumstances. This is why the person who knows how to rest in faith becomes dangerous to fear. Fear loses control when it cannot make you rush. Fear loses control when it cannot make you beg. Fear loses control when it cannot make you betray your peace. Fear loses control when you say, I will act when God gives me the step, but I will not panic just because I do not see the staircase. That is maturity. That is trust. That is receiving energy. And from that place, things begin to come differently. Ideas come without being forced. People come without being begged. Solutions come without being chased. Provision comes through channels you did not expect. Strength comes in the moment you need it. And you begin to realize that the universe of God is far more intelligent than your anxiety. Your anxiety only knows the past. God knows the path. Your fear only remembers what hurt you. Faith remembers who holds you. Your mind may not see a way, but divine wisdom is not limited to what your mind can see. So calm down. Let it come to you. Let the answer come through peace. Let the strategy come through stillness. Let the right moment reveal itself. Let God be God. There is a prayer you can begin using tonight. Not a prayer of begging, a prayer of alignment. Say, Lord, make me calm enough to hear you. Make me wise enough to recognize what is mine. Make me strong enough to release what is not. Make me faithful enough to stop forcing. Prepare me for what you are preparing for me. That prayer changes the posture of your spirit, because now you are no longer demanding an outcome while refusing transformation. You are allowing God to work in you and through you, and that is when the outer life begins to move. Now let us practice this together for a moment. Wherever you are, soften your breathing. You do not need to close your eyes if you cannot, but if you can, let your eyes become heavy for a few seconds. Imagine the thing you have been chasing. See it in your mind, not as something running away from you, not as something that must be forced. See it resting in the hands of God. See yourself no longer begging, no longer panicking, no longer trying to control every detail. See yourself standing in peace, your back straight, your heart open, your face calm, your spirit clear. Now imagine God preparing both the blessing and you. Imagine invisible connections being arranged. Imagine the right conversations forming. Imagine the right ideas finding you. Imagine your mind becoming ready. Imagine your heart becoming steady. Imagine your life becoming aligned. Now breathe and say quietly, I release fear. I receive peace. I release pressure. I receive guidance. I release desperation. I receive divine timing. I do my part. I trust God with the rest. That is the state. Not passive, not careless. Awake, trusting, receptive, powerful. Now carry this state into your day. Before you send the message, breathe. Before you make the decision, breathe. Before you assume the worst, breathe. Before you chase, breathe. Ask, is this action coming from faith or fear? That question alone can save you from years of unnecessary cycles. Is this faith or fear? If it is fear, return to peace. If it is faith, move with courage. If it is unclear, wait without panic. Waiting without panic is one of the strongest signs that your faith is maturing. Because immature faith needs constant evidence. Mature faith knows that roots grow before fruit appears. You may not see the roots, but they are not imaginary. They are forming in the dark. And many times the dark place is not punishment. It is where roots become strong enough to hold the future harvest. So stop cursing the hidden season. Stop assuming that silence means nothing is happening. Stop believing that because people cannot see your progress, progress does not exist. The deepest work is often invisible. The strongest foundations are underground. The most important transformations happen before the world applauds. Let God work where people cannot see. Let your mind be renewed in private. Let your faith grow in silence. Let your peace become real before the evidence comes. Because when the evidence comes, you will not worship it. You will be grateful, but not dependent. You will receive it, but not lose yourself in it. You will enjoy it, but not fear losing it. That is true prosperity, not just having more. Being free within what you have, being peaceful while more is coming, being whole before the manifestation. When you reach that state, the blessing no longer becomes your savior. It becomes an expression of the inner abundance you already carry. This is why calmness is so powerful. It returns you to wholeness. And wholeness attracts differently than emptiness. Emptiness clings. Wholeness receives. Emptiness begs. Wholeness welcomes. Emptiness panics. Wholeness trusts. Which one have you been living from? Today, choose wholeness. Even if you are still healing, choose wholeness. Even if the money is not all there yet, choose wholeness. Even if the door is still closed, choose wholeness. Even if the promise is still hidden, choose wholeness because your state is the soil and your future is growing from it. Now hear this deeply. You are allowed to desire without suffering. You are allowed to want more without hating where you are. You are allowed to dream without panicking. You are allowed to prepare without obsessing. You are allowed to trust without knowing every detail. You are allowed to receive without guilt. Some people cannot receive because they have been trained to believe struggle is the only proof of worthiness. They feel guilty when things come with ease. They distrust peace. They think if it does not hurt, it cannot be real. But not every blessing has to arrive through battle. Not every door has to open after breakdown. Not every good thing must be paid for with exhaustion. Sometimes God gives through peace. Sometimes grace is gentle. Sometimes the next level comes not because you fought harder, but because you finally stopped fighting yourself. Let ease be safe. Let receiving be safe. Let peace be safe. Let favor be safe. Your life does not have to be a constant emergency to be meaningful. You can be devoted and calm. You can be ambitious and peaceful. You can be disciplined and surrendered. You can be powerful and soft. You can be focused without being frantic. This is the balance. This is the deeper path. Napoleon Hill taught persistence, but he did not teach panic. He taught desire, but not desperation. He taught faith, not fear disguised as hard work. The Bible teaches diligence, but it also teaches rest. It teaches asking, but it also teaches believing. It teaches sowing, but it also teaches trusting the harvest. So do your part, but do not try to do God's part. Prepare the vessel, plant the seed, guard your mind, speak life, take aligned action. Then rest in the knowledge that there are forces working beyond what your eyes can measure. The right thing does not need to be hunted down with terror. The right thing can be drawn by alignment. Let it come. Let the right opportunity recognize your preparation. Let the right people recognize your spirit. Let the right idea find your quiet mind. Let the right path open under your feet. Let peace become the signal that you are in the right place. And while you wait, become. Become more disciplined. Become more grateful. Become more emotionally steady. Become more honest with yourself. Become more prayerful. Become more focused. Become more generous. Become more prepared. Because when it comes, you will understand why you had to become this person first. There will be a day when you look back and realize the delay was not empty. It was forming you. It was teaching you not to idolize the outcome. It was showing you where fear still ruled. It was strengthening your identity. It was making your peace deeper than your circumstances. And then what once felt far away will feel natural, not because it was magic, because you grew into alignment. Now, before we close, I want you to receive these declarations. Let them enter your mind slowly. Do not just hear them. Let them become a new inner language. I no longer chase from fear. I align with faith. I am calm enough to receive. I am wise enough to wait. I am strong enough to act when the time is right. I release what is not mine. I welcome what God has prepared. I do not force doors that disturb my peace. I do not beg for what is divinely assigned. I am becoming the person who can carry the blessing. My mind is being renewed. My heart is being strengthened. My spirit is being guided. What belongs to me can find me. What is meant for me will meet me in peace. I trust the timing. I trust the process. I trust God. Let those words follow you after this video ends. When anxiety rises, return to them. When impatience appears, return to them. When you feel tempted to chase what is not choosing you, return to them. When fear says nothing is happening, return to them. Because something is happening, you are changing. And when you change, your life can no longer remain exactly the same. The outer world may take time to reflect the inner shift, but do not be deceived. The shift is real. Every calm response is a victory. Every fearful thought you interrupt is a victory. Every time you choose faith over pressure, something in you becomes stronger. Every time you let go of what disturbs your peace, you make room for what belongs. This is how the new life begins. Not always with thunder, sometimes with a breath, a decision, a quiet prayer, a new thought before sleep, a different reaction, a refusal to chase, a willingness to receive. And one day you realize that what you were running after began moving toward you when you finally returned to yourself. Calm down. Let it come to you. Let it come to the peaceful you. Let it come to the faithful you. Let it come to the prepared you. Let it come to the version of you who no longer needs to abandon peace to prove desire. Let it come to the version of you who knows that God is not late. And as you continue from this moment, remember this truth. You are not calming down because you stopped believing. You are calming down because your belief has become deeper than panic. You are not letting it come because you are powerless. You are letting it come because you understand spiritual order. You plant, you prepare, You align, you act with faith, and then you allow. This is the rhythm of receiving. This is the secret most people miss. The blessing is not only attracted by wanting, it is received by becoming. So become calm, become faithful, become ready, become the atmosphere where your answered prayer can rest. If this message spoke to your spirit, like this video so this truth can reach more people who are tired of forcing and ready to receive. Subscribe to this channel if you want to keep growing in faith, mindset, prosperity, and divine alignment. And before you leave, write this final declaration in the comments. It is coming to me in peace. Write it with faith. It is coming to me in peace. And tonight, when the world becomes quiet, do not fall asleep in fear. Fall asleep in trust. Put your mind in God's hands. Put your desire in God's timing. Put your future in the atmosphere of faith. Calm down. Let it come to you. What is yours is not lost. What is divine does not need to be forced. And what God is preparing will meet you in the place where peace and faith become one.